Hi friends, another episode of #OPW Old People Wisdom. I'm really excited to talk about this topic today because I see so many people and have heard so many stories over the last week, even since the last video a week ago, which was titled Thriving Through the Holidays. So many people have reached out to me and been like, yeah, but. How many of you have ever taken a drive through Yeah But City, right? Like, you're on board with an idea, but there's always a caveat. There's always a, let me tell you my exception to the rule. I want to thrive through the holidays, yeah, but you don't understand my circumstances. Or, I hear what you say, Terri, and you tell me I can thrive through the holidays, but your plan is too simple, or you don't understand my family, or yeah, but. People, let's take a deeper dive into this topic about thriving through the holidays, because this is a really big deal. We already talked about the fact that some people love this time of the year. It's amazing. It's awesome. They think the holidays are the best thing since sliced bread, and they love it. And then you have those people who really struggle this time of the year. And you cannot unilaterally make a decision about how someone feels about this time of the year without actually asking them for their input. Right? Like, we make so many presumptions about people in our lives, even as far as, whether we send them a holiday card or not, right? Let's have a conversation about respecting other people's model of the world. I'm going to say that again. Let's talk about respecting other people's model of the world. Just because I see the world where the sky is blue doesn't give me the right to negate someone else's perspective if they think the sky is purple. I'm not kidding. Like, so many times we assume that our way is the right way of perceiving a situation. We're clearly right. They clearly don't know what they're talking about, and our way's the right way. Or maybe you have someone in your life that's very positioned like that, which comes up a ton during the holiday season, at parties, at family gatherings. There's a lot of social pressure this time of the year. It can be financially strapping for some people. The extra financial burden of having to do Christmas holiday cards or Christmas cards. Let's even talk about the difference between holidays and Christmas. Some people celebrate Hanukkah. Some people celebrate Christmas. Some people celebrate Kwanzaa. Some people don't celebrate a damn thing, right? Some people just are. So, true story. This happened the other day. I have some very dear friends. I have actually several dear friends who are Jewish. I am not Jewish. I was raised in a Christian household and consider myself to fall into that scope and celebrate Christmas. And my good friends who are Jewish, I sent them a holiday card, just that was very whatever you celebrate. However, someone in their life had said something to them about Merry Christmas. And this friend of mine, she was really upset that someone said Merry Christmas to her because she's Jewish and she celebrates Hanukkah. And my comment to her was, first of all, how would someone know what you celebrate? Granted, they certainly could have asked, right? But rather than get offended, could you perhaps make the translation in your own head that they were simply wishing you well? It was simply a statement of cheer and greetings and glad tidings, right? For regardless of whatever sentiment they used, whether they used Happy Hanukkah, Merry Christmas, or whatever. If somebody came up to me and they said Happy Hanukkah or Merry Kwanzaa or whatever, my personal belief, I would not be offended. I would think, oh, wow, cool. They wished me well. There was good intention there, right? I wouldn't be like, oh, how dare you not know which of those holidays I celebrate? Oh, right? Like, that's being really me-focused. And I want to be me-focused, but I also want to be me-focused in a very positive way. Not me-focused from a self-centered, I'm the end-all be-all on the earth way, right? So regardless of what someone would say to me, happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, whatever, my response is simply, oh, thank you so much. I hope you have a great holiday too, right? Because the intention is simply wishing well. But yet so many times we get bent out of shape because somebody didn't use the right term or the right word. This happens a lot in our society today with misgendering, right? Where someone says male or female or he or she, and that person wants to be a they or them. I'm fine with whatever you want to be called. And this is very controversial. I get it. I'm fine with whatever you want to be called. And I might do my best to remember that and not misgender you. How about some grace, though, for the fact that someone might have used the wrong term with you and it wasn't freaking personal? Remember that whole video a few weeks ago from Quit Taking It Personally? Q-tip? Quit Taking It Personally? Could you just see past whatever's going on in your world to recognize the intention was someone was genuinely just trying to care about you? That's a novel concept, right? So what if you allowed some people in your life some grace during this holiday season? And what if you were willing, not only you give the grace, but you can be the recipient of the grace as well? We don't have to walk on eggshells. If you've caught yourself and you've made a mistake by saying the wrong thing to the wrong person or whatever, you get to forgive yourself for that. And if they forgive you, great. And if they don't forgive you, that's on them. You get to live in the place. And we're going to respect other people's model of the world. Some people choose to have a holiday meal and they do turkey. Other people are diehard ham fans. Like, does it make a difference? We're all sitting around the table breaking bread together and having a celebration. Let's focus on what's important. Right? So when it comes to this holiday season, I'm going to invite you to respect someone else's model of the world. And I'm going to get real personal for a minute because I think, people say, like, you talk about your stories all the time. Well, yes, I do talk about my stories all the time. You want to know why? Because I don't know your stories. I only know my own stories. So, of course, I'm going to share my own personal stories to reflect a point. But right before my dad passed, my stepdad, who raised me, so as far as I'm concerned, he was dad, right before he passed, he'd had dementia for many years. And he lived in a whole nother place in his mind. He had very unhealthy verbal behavior. He just wasn't in his right mind. That's what dementia does. Dementia is brutal for the family that lives with it, right? And he just lived in a fantasy land that was not the same reality that you and I live in. And it was very frustrating. It was very frustrating for my mom, for myself, for my brother. And I was the one that kept saying, like, yes, there's a problem here. He has dementia, but we don't get to judge him based on our model of the world because that's not how his brain works right now. And we don't get to make his model of the world wrong just because it's not the reality that you and I live in. If someone is the biggest Grinch of them all, like, bah, humbug, ugh, holidays, no, and you're like, rah, 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 holidays, you don't get to poo-poo them, or if the roles are reversed and you're Mr. or Miss Grinch, right? You don't get to poo-poo them for their situation that they don't want to be part of the holidays, or you don't want to be part of the holidays. You get to respect that the other person has the right to experience the world in whatever way they choose. And when I say respect their model of the world, that doesn't mean you have to agree with it. It doesn't mean you have to accept it as your own or make it right. It simply means that you acknowledge that that person has the right to believe whatever it is that they want to believe, providing it's in the do no harm category, right? Like, we're not doing any harm to anyone. Then people have the right to choose and to believe whatever it is that they want to believe. And when we become forgiving and tolerant, and we become accepting that someone else has the right to live their life, and we respect their model of the world, people, let me tell you something. There is so much freedom for you in that mindset to relieve yourself of the burden of needing to be right, that your way and your world is the only thing that exists. I know that sounds complicated to some people. It is so true. When you give yourself permission to accept that other people have the right to view and experience the world the way they want to, so much pressure comes off you. So as you think about that, as you think about Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, I want you to just go through this holiday season, whether you celebrate or not, with the standpoint of, I'm just going to accept my own grace. I'm going to give grace, and I'm going to respect everyone's model of the world, regardless of whether it matches mine or not. I'm going to promise you, if you're willing to do that now through the end of the year, in these next 3 weeks, you might find the true magic that some people talk about this time of the year. I hope that magic finds you. Remember, if you're enjoying our content, if you're enjoying our little chats here, be sure to hit like, be sure to hit subscribe, hit the little bell for notifications when I post a new video. I'm really digging hanging out with you guys for a while. I hope you're digging it too. Take care. Happy holidays.